In the last episode we explored the town of Merida, so in this one we wanted to check out the surrounding areas, including the Olmec Ruins to the south and the Corchito Ecological Reserve in the north. So we are driving south today from Merida to the Olmec Ruins. We just passed this small town called Muna, on this little winding hill to one of the kind of what they call, I think, is one of the highest viewpoints in all of Yucatan, which isn't really saying anything because it's all incredibly flat. So nice little view we just saw. Now we're driving on to the Olmec Ruins, supposed to be some of the best ruins in all of Yucatan.
So if you clap facing the structure, a little like weird bird sound comes back at you, and it actually works. Yeah, it sounds like a bird. Amazing. Interesting to know how much of this is like restored, reconstructed, cleaned. It looks really like very new, some of the walls.
Say that name. Seems offensive.
I know. Well, try my best.
If you just read that sign there, the ball game was played with elbows, hips and knees to move this little rubber ball. We'll try and find a video of what it looks like these days or some sort of video to show it because it sounds ridiculous.
Miller, lovely cushion header, but oh, you beauty! What a head, son! What a head!
As I learnt in my research, it was actually the circles, the rings were only added way later, in like 900. And before that, it was just about getting it from one side of the court to the other side. And then even when the rings were added, it was still less about getting the ball through the ring. So it seems less crazy, especially when you see the ball caught at like Chichen Itza, where you're like, how does anyone get it up there with their hip? It's been really interesting because all the different ruins we've been to have all been very different. Like it's not, you don't get that kind of ruin fatigue and you think you're just looking at the same thing each time. Also what we've noticed here is that the signs and the information is better. There's just like a bit more information, there's a bit more about like what the structure was used for rather than just like how it was built. Okay, we're gonna say goodbye to, where are we? Uxmal. And go and find a cenote and also maybe a hacienda for some lunchtime. We've had a run of bad luck where this place, it's a really old 17th century hacienda in cenote, but you have to go around with a guided tour, and we just missed the current one, and there isn't one for another like hour and a half or 2 hours. The place has a restaurant though, so we've missed the tour, but we're gonna get some food and then do the tour at 3. It looks pretty exciting and lovely. We're in the lovely restaurant waiting for a tour, and we've ordered guacamole and a salpicón de carne ahumada, which is basically like a traditional kind of meat salad. It basically just looks like a mound of meat. It's very exciting.
Del color café con rasgos rojos cerca de los ojos, que es un mucuyche es árbol o madera.
So, the tour is in Spanish. I understood about 50%, so there was a very rich Spanish family that came here 17th century that actually had 14 haciendas across like an incredible amount of, I can't remember how many, 5 million kilometers squared or something. And they made loads of like rice and cocoa beans and all that kind of stuff. And then there was some information that I didn't quite understand. And then something about like clandestine, they were making some kind of alcohol. Very interesting. I wish I knew what he was saying.
The problem with our language barrier is that we don't understand any of the things that are happening. I'm not going to be swimming through the cenotes, hence I'll change the camera for a GoPro. So, we finished our very confusing Spanish tour, which we didn't even realise also included double cave cenote diving tour.
It was amazing. It was the experience. It was beautiful and amazing. We had no idea, unfortunately, about what he was saying about the probably very interesting structure and how it came to be and the limestone. And there was a lot of talking, and my Spanish just.
We spent maybe 45 minutes in the cave.
Yeah.
Where we were just floating and looking at stalactites, and presume he was talking for 45 minutes about stalactites.
He kept showing the torch at them, so we're like, he must be talking about the stalactites.
But it was really interesting, and it absolutely beautiful. Well, sorry, it wasn't interesting because we didn't know what they were talking about, but it was very beautiful.
Yeah.
And now we're just kind of relaxing in the rest of this kind of old hacienda. There's a swimming pool over there, which is cool, and we're just enjoying some agua, and then we're going to head back. So yeah, been a cool day.
Brilliant day. Very unexpected, but brilliant.
Bye. So we are driving north today towards Progreso. There's a beach there, maybe some sort of ferry port, ecological reserve, and hopefully, with fingers crossed, we're going to see the kind of pink lake, the laguna rosada, which is like the pink salt lakes. I'm not sure what there is, but we're going on a road trip.
Woo, road trip. Sorry, hands on wheel.
So we found the beach, come to the end of Progreso, and There's just this kind of empty beaches. There's like a fisherman's kind of disembarkation point or whatever it's called on the map, Google Maps. It's very cool. And there's this long road that just goes out to the sea. It seems to be just kind of a destination for, well, some sort of port for cargo ships.
Yeah.
Maybe cruise ships, I don't know, but yeah.
Oh! Ow. Ow. Stop coming out. Ah!
Put your shoes on.
Ow.
There you go. You're acting like someone who's never been outside before. We found some pink and some cool storks and birds. It's very cool. Found some in the park. We actually overshot and went quite far up to where Google Maps said the laguna rosada was. But frankly, the water was beautifully turquoise and not the pink that we were hoping for. So we've driven back up to where we saw some earlier. Not looking very pink here either.
So now we found this kind of closed viewing watchtower, which is the only place you can go, and we're putting the drone up.
Very pink.
Oh well. So, we found this place called El Corchito. So it's an area where you can take a boat into an ecosphere. I think there's cenotes that you can look at, and turtles and raccoons seems to be a big thing here. We'll see how it goes.
I love it.
So we're here in the ecosphere El Chichita. It was amazing when she got off the boat and we're welcomed by a little raccoon running past us, and we see lots of fish.
Just these little trails and several cenotes and this kind of like marshland nature.
We just saw an iguana, which was very fun, and now we really want to see some turtles, some tortuga. But potentially my really cool wildlife camouflage outfit might be scaring them off. So many fish.
How do you feel?
Excellent, apart from the fish I'm about to dive into. Oh, do I look like a panda? So we're waiting for our boat now. We didn't unfortunately see any tortuga or flamingos, but saw lots of the raccoons and this like red raccoon type animal, which was really fun. And it's just been wonderful spending like an hour, 2 hours here. We've come back into Progreso and we've come to a place called Crabster, which was recommended online, and it's very exciting. So I've ordered the fresh fish El Grill And then we've also got the pulled pork on castacan, so that's two of the best things. Octopus and roasted crispy pork. Deliciousness. Can't go wrong.
Our favourite discovery in Merida, the castacan, the roasted pork belly. It's always just the best food. That's my mum's Malaysian Chinese roast pork. This is what we love. Suyuk in Malaysian.
Wow, such a fun concept. We were like, oh, we'll maybe have a look at dessert, and tried to look at the menu online. We're like, where's the dessert? Guy comes out with a platter of dessert that they do daily and was explaining to us what each is. So we've got a lemon pie and some kind of chocolate thing coming.
Jesus Christ.
We're finished. I think that was one of the best meals we've had since coming to Mexico. Love Progreso, such a cute little sea town. We're now going to drive back and lie down and recover. It's very, very full. I think this finishes up our day of exploring outside of Merida.